Welcome to Third Cut Silage. This is basically the first time I haven't had a trailer in 5 hours, so I'm just going to check over the harvester, make sure nothing's heating up too much, make sure there's nothing about to break. That chain is very loose. I am not going to comment on how things are going today because I've made that mistake before, so you'll all just have to guess how things are going from how happy or upset I look. Okay, left hand main bearing is fine. That side's all fine. I'll need you to move. Just check the bearings in here. That bearing's cold. That bearing's cold. That bearing's cold. That bearing's cold. Okay. Knuckles are cold. I think we're pretty good. I have been stopped once today, but it was my own fault. I was trying to get my can of Red Bull into the cup holder and I accidentally hit the PTO switch and turned off the PTO to the harvester mid-row. Amazingly, the drum didn't block, which I thought it did. So we were like folding down the spout, ready to have to like pull all the grass out and take like half an hour. And I spun the drum by hand and it turned and I was like, okay. So I got back in the tractor, started up again, and away we went. Right, I'm not going to talk a lot in this video. I'm going to try and get this camera passed around everyone, get tons of footage of all the different people doing their jobs, and try to make like the ultimate silage video, which is going to be a real pain in the butt to edit, but I want to try it. I've never seen it done, so that has to mean it's a good idea, right? The grass has been pretty wet so far today. It's drying out nicely now, but it was mowed damp yesterday. It was cloudy and drizzly all yesterday. It was cloudy this morning and it was raked up this morning. So there's definitely still a little bit of moisture in it. Probably looking at like 23% dry matter in the pit, but you know what? I am happy enough for that. This field has some really good sized rows. It's Italian ryegrass, but the biggest problem with this field is that it didn't get sprayed. And it's like half full of Dawkins, which is really not great. But this field is the exception. Generally, all the rest of the fields have been sprayed. They're all clean. There's very few weeds. So it should make some really good silage. How good? Mid 11 MEs, I'm hoping, despite the fact it all went to seed, but we'll find out in a couple of months. I finally have a trailer. Enjoy the montage and I'll catch up with you at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Don't lose faith in me. I know you've been waiting. I know you've been praying for my soul. 30 years you've been dragging your feet, telling me I'm the reason we're stagnant. 30 years you've been claiming you're honest and promising progress. Well, where is it at? I don't want you to feel like a failure. I know this hurts, but I gave you your chance to deliver. Now it's my turn. Don't get me wrong, nature had a great run, but it's time to give the people something different. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my album. Hope. What's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says. Standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is. Tucking their toe between their legs. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. It's a person that'll take it chance on. Something they were told could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when there ain't one. It's when someone who ain't never had nothing ain't afraid to walk away from more profit cause they rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's a person that would never waver or change who they are just to try and gain some credibility so they can feel accepted by a stranger. It's a person that can take the failures in their life and turn them into motivation. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. It's amazing what a little bit of faith can do. If you don't even believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to? I done did things that I regret. I done said things I can't take back. Was a lost soul at a crossroad who had no hope, but I changed that. I spent years of my life holding on to things I never should have kept, full of hatred. Years of my life carrying a lot of baggage that I should have walked away from. Years of my life wishing I was someone different, looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was in them. They get it. Pain's a necessary evil, difficult to go through, yes, but beneficial. Some would say having a mental breakdown is a negative thing, which on one hand I agree, but on the other hand, it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See, if I'd never hit my bottom, would I be the person that I am today? I don't believe so. I'm a prime example of what happens when you choose to not accept defeat and face your demons. Took me 30 years to realize that if you want to get that opportunity to be the greatest version of yourself, sometimes you gotta be someone you're not to hear the voice of reason. Having kids will make you really take a step back and look in the mirror, at least for me, that's what it did. I wake up every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms and let him know he's loved. Standing by the window questioning if that is ever going to show up. Isn't something he's gonna have to worry about, don't get it twisted, that was in a shot. Mama, I forgive you, I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough. 30 years of running, 30 years of searching, 30 years of hurting, 30 years of pain, 30 years of fearful, 30 years of anger, 30 years of empty, 30 years of shame, 30 years of broken, 30 years of anguish, 30 years of hopeless, 30 years of hate, 30 years of never, 30 years of maybe, 30 years of later, 30 years of fate, 30 years of hollow, 30 years of sorrow, 30 years of darkness, 30 years of hate, 30 years of baggage, 30 years of sadness, 30 years of stagnant, 30 years of change, 30 years of patience, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of torment, 30 years of 30 years of bitter, 30 years of lonely, 30 years of pushing everyone away. You'll never revolve. I know I can change. We are not enough. We are not the same. You don't have the heart. You don't have the strength. You don't have the will. You don't have the faith. You'll never be loved. You'll never be safe. Might as well give up. Not running away. You don't have the guts. You're the one afraid. I'm the one in charge. I'm taking the reins.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little montage of us lifting silage. There's a really tight corner. 1 second. Will I get round in time? It's going to take a wee second to get this lined up with the trailer now. This is what I don't put in the drone footage. Slow bits. Okay, we're good. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it was a little bit different to maybe what you've seen before. Judging by how much footage I've just recorded, it is going to take a heck of a lot to edit this. But the drone is out of battery, my camera is almost out of battery, and I'm out of battery, so we're going to leave it there. I have probably another half an hour until I'm finished. We will have lifted 81 acres today. The pit is pretty full already, and considering there's 86 acres to do tomorrow, it's not all going to fit, which is a brilliant problem to have. I am genuinely ecstatic about that. We will put some in the other silage pit. It will be fine. To be honest, I needed it not all to fit. If it had a fit in one silage pit, I was in big trouble, so I'm definitely not complaining. Okay, I'm going to put Spotify on and listen to some music and try and enjoy the last 20 minutes of silage today before another monster day tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Please do like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of thing. And any comments, stick them down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week.